Hey, when you go to Texas Roadhouse, and I want to one day just go there and just see if they will just keep giving us baskets like that one video that went viral.
We'll take
of
Lily
the kids.
because
I could go with you.
I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
Dang.
she'll say it's her birthday to get a free dessert too.
Were you really?
No, she's like
Oh.
looking forward to it. She's because they don't do that in Honduras. So she was saying the other day, she's like, I can't wait till it's my birthday and we can get a free dessert.
Yeah, they just sing to you like happy birthday. Some restaurants, but not all of them.
Dang.
And here it's strange that people give you a lot of things. Like today we will go to the supermarket and I was thinking to buy a balloon for our baby because I don't know if you ever seen like the videos that the babies move and they're seeing the balloon. And I say, oh, I'm gonna do that. And I say, how much is for one? And he said, no, they're free for babies. And I was like, for the kids? And she said, yeah, you can have one for free.
There's nothing free in Honduras.
There's nothing free.
Nothing's free in Honduras. Well, yeah, they have to give something. Well, not everything's free here, but
no, but
we don't gotta go into
I mean,
that.
like when you go to a Mexican restaurant, you get chips for free. And when I told her that in Honduras, she's like, "No way." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, they don't give you nothing for free. They ask you if you want appetizers, but
You're paying for that.
yeah, you're paying for it.
Interesting.
I could not think in even any restaurant they give you something free.
No.
Not all of them here give.
They give you a
something for free.
sweet, a candy after you pay.
That's a mint. That is not even candy.
They give you a mint.
Oh, and when we go to Olive Garden and they give you the chocolate, mint chocolate.
Yeah.
I was like, they give you chocolate for buy it.
They give you
She took all the leftovers on the table.
They give you the breadsticks too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Put them in the purse.
Gosh,
I really
I'm gonna
like
have to go
the
get
chocolates.
Olive Garden. Get just for the breadsticks. I might call and just ask how much it is just for the breadsticks. Because Texas Roadhouse, you can get a whole thing
For like $3.
for like $3. You can get the whole thing. Will immediately looked at his phone and is going to look at that. Yeah, they give you a whole thing, like a tray of their bread and their cinnamon butter. It's like $3 or $4. Yeah, absolutely, it's great. I love it so much. Your DoorDash, don't DoorDash bread. It's gonna cost you $25.
$15 in delivery for
Could be
16
free in the
breadsticks.
restaurant.
We can literally just go get it after this.
Don't tempt us.
I'll go eat after this. Well, we can figure it out, but we'll figure it out. We'll do it all. Yeah, America giving free stuff for food and Honduras giving not free stuff.
I remember that when I was a kid, my mom go to the Catholic church. Sometimes she was not. It's like the people say they are, but they never go. So she was like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes we go to the church, and in front of the church it was a Burger King. And sometimes we go there after church, and I was like, I think it's something not that important, but it's like how an idea that people try to don't spend that much. So
Gotcha.
I always say, oh, I want a burger with cheese on it, and she always buy the cheaper combo for that. And I never eat a cheese burger until I grow up because they try to don't spend that much in that time. It's like, it wasn't that expensive. Or the kids meal is not something that regular persons can buy there. But some people can do it. It's not like all of them, but there's a big part of people that is too much for them to buy a kid's meal.
And it's crazy to think that that's the difference.
Yeah, it's
most
a big
people can't even
difference.
afford it.
Yeah.
Here is like a normal, it's like you have your kid and you buy a kid's meal.
Yeah.
I think most part of people can do it, but there is
And
like
an extra toy if they want it.
and yeah, I never have one of that toys, but I have a cousin that she have all of collection of them, and it's like I wish to have one. I never buy a kid's. I'm gonna buy a kid meal.
McDonald's just started One Piece. They have One Piece toys
Oh.
with their kids meals. And then what's the other one? What? Is it Wendy's that has Naruto? It's either Naruto or Demon Slayer.
One of them has Demon Slayer. I saw that.
Okay, so it's Demon Slayer. Eventually it's gonna be Naruto somewhere. So that's cool. it's fascinating how that's.
But back onto the free food. Now they have a Denny's,
Yeah.
and they gave out free pancakes.
Yeah.
And the line in Saba was hours long out the door.
I think it was more than 100 or 200 people out, and they
waiting for a free
all
pancake.
The Denny's in Honduras for free pancakes. You just have to buy like your drink or nothing if you don't want it, and they have big lines of people waiting. Like it's like a fun thing, but probably so much people that they don't have something for eat. They just go. You just have to wear pajamas.
And now that we left Saba, there's a Denny's, there's a McDonald's. They're
they
putting
don't
in
have that
Chuck E. Cheese.
They have Chuck E. Cheese.
They're putting in a Chuck E. Cheese.
They don't have before, but they're doing one.
The kids are gonna go crazy over the Chuck E. Cheese arcade there. What do you?
I'm gonna go crazy.
Yeah. So here's the thing, Will. I cannot read lips.
Me either.
Whatsoever. I can't do that. So I'm just gonna ask you.
And that's the worst.
Got
now
it. Cool.
We got a baby, so Lily will try to talk to me, and I'm like, I can't read your lips. Like, just text me. Like,
there is something normal. People make like signs like if you
Well,
want that blanket, my mom or somebody going to like, can you give me that?
you don't
with
point,
your mouth.
You don't point with your
and
finger.
you understand what it's doing. Yes,
Yeah.
it's a bad education.
I catch
with
that.
your fingers.
I've caught on to that. Just doing
It's
that.
like,
And then if you don't understand what somebody's saying, you like your nose.
yes.
You guys scrunch up. You do it too. Now, you scrunch up your nose, and then I know it's just that's how I have to repeat myself.
I just thought everybody wanted to kiss me when I first went down there.
Yeah, so we use a lot of signs that he never understands. Like sometimes I tell him like, and he's like,
yeah,
or like, oh, the bathroom is there, so I'm gonna show her, and coming back, and he's like, I don't understand you. Why you don't talk? Yeah, so I try to
that's awesome.
do it better because we don't want the baby being awake.
Yeah, I gotcha. You talked about a little bit about going to church and things like that, and so I know talking to you about your testimony that you didn't grow up in church.
No, I didn't.
And so I think it'd be a good time, we can go ahead and like shift into just hearing more about your testimony, learning more about you. And then Wes, if you have any perspective of it too, I'd love to hear yours as well. But just growing up in Honduras, what was that like for you?
Well, like I was telling you that my mom sometimes used to go to church, for that church, the Catholic church, and she did it sometimes, but she was not really getting to that. And well, she stopped to doing that probably. Just she do because she have a friend that tell her like, oh, we can go, and it's more like social. I don't think she was really deep, like trying to find something else than just time for share with someone or something like that. So when I was a kid, we don't go to a Christian church, and my mom have a friend that she invite her all the time, like, oh, you want to go with us? And she always say like, yes, it's one of that kind of persons that she never go. So sometimes we go with her, probably like 2 times. It wasn't that much. And I think that was the very first time that I go for a Christian church. And it was around Christmas. They have a Christmas special. And it was a song they have in English, but I don't know the name. It's the same in Spanish and English. And it was a really cute kids like presentation. And they have like the kids Bible club and school for kids for learning about God. And so my mom never go to that. But when I was growing, probably she have too much problems and she don't want to know about God, because I grow up in a home with my mom that she have to work a lot. I have 2 sisters, and my dad he have a problem with alcohol. He's alcoholic. I wish to can say that he have, but he go to rehab like 3 times at this point, and he was really fine the last 2 or 3 years.
Going to church and everything.
Going to church and everything. Yes, I invite him, and he was trying to change, and go back and work and have a normal life, but they're gonna send him to rehab for 4th time again.
Just this past month?
Just this. He go today, I think. Yesterday she was talking with, visit my sister and saying that he was fine. And probably he don't understand how much that affect the people around him. But we know that he have a problem. And he visited my sister and he said, oh, I don't know why my family is saying, like my uncles and my grandma, been saying that I have a problem. I'm really fine. They are just spending their money. It's like he don't understand how that can affect the other people.
Yeah.
But you said they found him like sleeping outside, like in the streets.
Before the 3 times that he go to rehab, he go to sleep in the streets, just because he drink the full day, the full night, and he was not going to my family house for visit him. So I grow up with him having that problem. At the beginning, he just drink like on social meetings and things like that. But, well, the one that I say is my grandma, is my aunt grandma. It's not his mom. His mom passed away when I have like 4 years. And I think that made his alcoholic problem get worse. And I remember he worked in a hospital, and they fire him. They fire him because he go drunk one day for work, and
It was a good job for Honduras.
It was a really good job that he had. He made the X-ray.
Okay.
And my mom was a nurse. They met in the hospital. She had my older sister at that time, because she was a teenager mom, and she met my dad, and he looks like he was really good in that time, and they get married when she was pregnant of me. But I think I have like my whole life remember that he drank. I even remember the first time that I don't like alcohol. I never like it. But I remember the first time that he gave me alcohol, like thinking it's something fun. I have like 4 years, and he gave me one. It was like a green bottle of beer, and it's not something that you used to give a kid, but he was thinking it's fun. And so he had that problem, and when he get drunk, he have like aggression problems too. He was trying to fight. I grew up with physical fights with my mom and him, and there's a lot of women that when they have a husband and is aggressive like that, they just been like receiving that all the time. But she was like fighting with him too. So at the end, I remember a lot of times, I even can't count it, like at the end they fight, and my mom called the police, and the police go for him, and he sleep in the jail for one night, and he go back, and they was fine. So it was really toxic to grow up in like that. And I could remember once that when they fired him from his job, my mom was working, and sometimes my older sister come from high school, and he was so drunk, sleeping out in front of the house, and the neighborhood can see him. Like, it's a shame.
Yeah.
And my older sister, probably she have like 12 years, and she have to hold him and carry him for get inside to the bathroom and like get awake or do something. I think was really hard for her, because even wasn't her real dad. It was like she grew up with like he was his dad, but she know he wasn't. His dad passed away when she was a baby.
Yeah.
So I remember that day that she was trying to help him get into the house, but because he was so drunk that he even can't walk, and he get mad, and he just broke like the mirrors of the house, and we hide with my sister like in the room, because my older sister say just go, because it's hard to think that she has to grow up too fast for work with someone that's being aggressive, and you're a kid, you have 12 years.
Yeah. And
one of the other times that they fight with my mom and my dad, he was so mad that he tried to strangle my little sister. She had like 3 years. And I think it's really hard, because I know in one point that wasn't normal, but it's nothing that you can do.
Yeah.
So when I have around 9 years, my mom gets tired of that, and he just do the same. So they have a fight. He go to sleep in the police, and that day he talk his family and say, I'm not gonna receive him back in the house. I don't want this anymore. So he go with his family because it's hard to live with aggressions. And I can tell you 100 times that they have a lot of fight. One of the fights that she was making dinner, and she have a pan with oil, like hot, and he was trying to fight with her, and she said, I'm just gonna hit you with this. I'm tired of this. And I could not imagine like being a woman, have your kids and your family, and being handled with that all the time.
Yeah.
So they get separated, and I know a lot of kids, when their dads get divorced, they never signed the paper, but they was not together anymore. They feel sad, but I was like, oh God, it's like,
yeah, a breath of fresh air for you.
It's like a relief.
Yeah, a relief.
Yeah, and it's sad because some people ask me, oh, how you feel? And I was like, I feel good. And the bad thing after that is like, my mom never say nothing bad about him. She don't have to, because we see how the drink, it was a big problem for him. And when they go to the judge and say, oh, you have to visit, like the visits with my dad and things like that, I never want to visit him at the beginning, and because it was like hard for me seeing how they live, and I know that wasn't right. So at the end, we visit him sometimes, but it was a hard relation, and now I could say it was better, but now I feel a little bit touched about that he go back to drink again, because I was thinking, oh, this is gonna be the good one.
Because that was the longest he's probably
finally a change.
Yeah, it's like finally a change. He have like 2 or 3 years without drinking. I say, oh God, thanks, it's finally doing it.
Yeah.
But no, he go back. But I'm still praying and asking that God can make something in his life. So when my mom and my dad get separated, she was single for a few times. I think something that happened to make her like saying, oh, it's okay, I don't want this anymore. It's because she was pregnant and she lost her baby at the moment that she was to giving birth. It was no one's fault. Yeah. It's not like it was like they're fighting. In labor she lost it. And she always wants and pray or ask for God, like, oh, one day I want to, because she believed in God, but she never go to the church. And she said, oh, I want to have a baby boy, and it was her dream. And she lost that, and I don't know how she don't get crazy with that, because she was working on too much things. And well, when they get separated, my mom was single for a few times, but she started with date with someone that he don't live with us, but he stays sometimes in the house. He don't talk too much with us. And a few years later, I know that he was a bad person, like doing things is not right. That it's supposed like when you grow up, the adults talk about things, the kids don't listen and they don't know, but the bigger part of the time the kids listen and the kids know, but they just don't talk about that because it's supposed you don't have to. So I know that he was one person that somebody paid him for killing other persons, and my mom was dating with him. I remember that he had his tattoos with how you call the thing that women use for makeup? I forget.
What do you call it?
What did you say? Contour?
No. It's
when they have bruises and stuff. Concealer.
Yes, he covered his tattoos and things like that.
I was close.
He never was rude or nothing with us because we never talked that much. It's like he just stayed with my mom, and they get into that relation. I remember once we go to a trip like 2 hours ago that we leave for a beach. It's like that. Yeah, I'm sorry. And he have his gun in the car, and my mom's car, And the police, they make like they stay in one place and stop random cars and check and see if everything's fine, more in summer. So they did that, and they found the gun, and he don't have a permission to wear that, to have the gun. Yeah. So my mom was trying to tell us like, oh, make like, oh, it's my dad, or it's like, that's not okay. But in that time, we're just kids, and I just was like, my mom's getting crazy. Yeah. But I understand how big is that now that I'm old, not when I was a kid. And at the end, it's not something that I have to feel proud about, but people know in Honduras that a lot of times you can just pay the police and they're gonna let you go without any other problem. Yeah. Yeah. You just give them money and they're like, okay, we don't see just nothing.
Just let you by. Yep.
Yeah. So that happened, and they was dating and that. So I remember around that time, once I go to visit my aunt, she was living apart with his great grandma, with her grandma, and I was staying like 1 week. And I remember one day I wake up in the morning and I have a horrible nightmare. Like I still remember that it was like a horrible house, like a wood house, and it was full of snakes and other like rats and different animals. And I feel like I want to go out from this place, and I feel so real, and I can wake up. It was horrible, and I was like, I have that feeling that something horrible was happening. Yeah. And when I awake, I told my aunt like I have that horrible dream, and she was talking with my mom and say, oh, she is being like stressed because she had this dream, but I don't know, it's like just bad dream. Yeah. And that day my mom had an accident. She was driving with my little sister, and like 2 streets before our house, it was like a little grocery store that her friend had it. So she was driving over there, and a motorcycle found her, like was following his car. Her car, sorry. And he shot her like 7 or 9 times. And my little sister was with her in the car. She was sitting behind in the car, like behind the driver seat. And I just know like what they tell about that time. It's like she had that accident, and the only thing that my little sister say is like they go out of the motorcycle and see like what was the person in there, and they see her on she see his face, and he goes. And that's a miracle, because there is not like they're gonna let someone could be testified even if it's just a kid. So I think was God taking care of my sister's life.
And how old was she?
She had like 4 years at that time. I had like 4 or 5, and I had like 9. It was around the year that my dad and mom get separated, and she was dating with that person. And she had that accident, and her friend just go out, and after a few minutes that everything happened, and take my sister out of the car. My mom was shot on her finger and around her ear. She had like 3 shots that they touched her spine. Mm-hmm. And they take her for emergency to the hospital. And she used to be a nurse. And at that time, it's not like we have money afford to pay a hospital, and the public hospitals there are not the best. And sometimes they even don't have the medicine for treat you or nothing. They sometimes don't have air conditioner or beds for people stay there. So my older sister was in house, and probably her friend called her, and she was there when the ambulance get there. And she said take her from the hospital that she used to work like there. So she need like 3 or 4 operations for emergency, because if not, she's gonna die. She had one who touched her.
Or what do you call that nerve, or the
like the jugular?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she needs some other emergency because one of the shots touched her, not her kidney, the other thing. Would you breathe?
Lungs.
Yeah. And I think God was there because even she was not a believer, I think He have a purpose that thing happened. And like two of the doctors, it was there. They say, I'm just gonna do it for free because she was my friend. And it's a lot of money for say, oh, I don't want you pay me for this.
In Honduras, you have to pay up front for operations or anything, so they won't do it unless you have the money to pay them before the operation.
Yeah, or you have to live like a credit card with enough money for afford a big amount. Yeah. So you could go to the public hospital, but a lot of things happen. It's not like all the time they can do something. So they picked to do that, and God was there because she don't have to pay for the operation, just for being in the hospital and all the other things. And they say that she need a operation for her pain, like an emergency, because she could pass away in a few hours. I didn't know all of that. They told me before. After, sorry, yeah. And they would have to drive for another city. It's like 4 hours of or city that we live.
Yeah.
And when she get there and they check her, it was a bigger hospital. And they say that when the hospital in our town sent her for the other one, they say she could probably die in the way because it was that bad that they can say that she's going to be fine for that 4 hours.
Yeah.
An ambulance. And it was another miracle because when she get there and they check her, they say she don't need that. She's perfect. She could do it without her throat gets fine. Her veins, sorry. And we was like how that can happen, because they say probably she's gonna die in a few hours, and I appreciate that God give me 4 more years with her after that happened. And well, I remember that day and night I was staying in my aunt's house with my great grandma, and we don't know what's happening. I have like 9-10 years, and we just was asking like, oh, what happened? Why they are not coming? Or like, oh, they probably go and they forget about us, because my great grandma can walk. She was too old for that. She had like 80 something, and I was a kid. I have like 10, and my cousin was there, and he had like 2 years too. So none of us can make like dinner or cooking or order food or something. So I remember in the middle of the night, like around 11, they take my little sister to my aunt's house, and I asked her like, oh, what they are, why they're not coming yet? And she said like, oh, they just say they're coming later. And she don't say nothing that whole night about the accident or about that my mom was almost dying in a hospital.
Yeah.
And they get back, and the next day in the morning, and my aunt told me, and I was like shocked for everything happened, and shocked because my little sister was there, and she was in the accident, and she didn't tell us nothing, because they say don't say nothing. It's like we don't have time for give explications, or so it was really stressful. And I think it's still hard for her because she never talked about that.
She still
like,
hasn't talked about it.
Yes, she go a few years for the therapy. A few years, no, a few months, but she didn't say nothing. She was like, no. So I think one day probably she will try to talk about this, that happened.
She probably just blocked the memory out.
Yeah, she never talked about that. So it was really hard to have to afford living like that, because we moved from our house to that for my aunt's house because we get scared. That happened like 2 streets for our house. It was really close. And when my mom get better and she go back to my aunt's house. We was living like, I don't know, it's like my sister, me, my little sister, my mom, my aunt, my uncle, my great grandma, and my cousin. Was living 8 persons in the house. We just have 3 rooms.
And she technically wasn't better. She was paralyzed.
Yeah, she was paralyzed. She couldn't, after that accident, she don't feel from here, nothing from here to there. And she needs to use diapers and a lot of other things that we have to spend. She needs to take therapy too, because at that point they didn't know if she could get better or not. And she have like a tubing because she have like liquid inside of her, and she have another operation like 1 month after that when she was a little bit better. And
to pay for like a doctor down there, like a live-in doctor, most people couldn't afford that. So Lily was her caretaker at the age of 10.
So my life changed like 180 so much, like going to a different spot that it's supposed a kid don't have to leave, things like that. But we can afford to pay someone to help on our house, so we make the therapy on our table. We lay her and we just move her feet and things like that. She did therapy a few months, but it was too much for pay it. So at the end, we just make different things in our house or try to can help her. And she used diapers, and I have to help her for change diapers. My older sister was taking care of her full time after that she was out of high school.
Yeah.
She had to find a job to be able to help pay.
She found a job. She was working part-time after going from high school and helped my mom, and my aunt helped us all the time. Like we was all of us part of that. And
it's just something you couldn't imagine being that age and having to be a caretaker for
I could not imagine.
A parent and not having a childhood. It was go to school and then come right back.
Yes, and it's hard because probably some people think that no one have a problem like that. I know that they don't imagine that something like that happened. But I remember in the high school they just changed from high school when you're in 7th grade. Here is different, around 9th or 10th grade, I think.
Yeah.
But you go to elementary school is from 1st to 6th grade, and 7th to 12th or 11th grade, you're high school. So when I was in high school, I remember they have a revival, just like it was a Catholic high school. So they was telling like, oh, we should have to kill yourself and things like that. I think on that so much before that I get in high school for how many problems that I had. And it's supposed to keep, don't have to think that things. Or I remember too that sometimes when they are like fighting, I just say, oh, I'm just going where I can go. I just was a kid. So, but I have that thought in my mind like, oh, I can go and leave this house. And after that, my mom had her accident. I just think it's really hard to work with that, because I have another classmates that they go out of school and they can like be in the band or making sport or just doing something, but I just need to go out and go back really fast because I know I have to help my mom.
You had to grow up really quick.
Yeah, and my older sister have to grow up really quick, really fast too for all the things.
Yeah.
It's like in one point she was the one who gave us money because for like buy lunch in school and things like that. And it was hard because my mom always was a really independent woman. Even like when he left my dad, he was working and she always tried to sell things and do something for make money. And I could not imagine how she feels like just staying in a bed in a chair.
Having to depend
on everybody else around you.
Depending on people.
Yeah, so she was getting better after the first year that she had her accident. Her second and third year, she was really fine. But a few months before, like around 3.5 years, she started to feel really bad and she was throwing up all the food that she had. It was around the time that the, ¿cómo se dice ladrón?
the thief.
Yeah, go and all that things happen, and my sister get teenager pregnancy, and she have her baby, and
just a lot of stress on your mom.
Yeah, so I don't know what she had, because it's not like they explain me what happened every time that they take her from the hospital. And she started to get bad. She lost her hair. She was really skinny, and we just going back to the hospital, but they don't found what she had, and she passed away 2014 when I have 2013, sorry, when I have 14 years. And when she passed away, I don't know if you ever live something like that, that when somebody gets so sick that you are not praying for they get better anymore, because you know probably they're not, and you just pray for God take them.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to see her. I don't want to see her suffer anymore. So I was praying, or saying, not praying, because I was not a Christian.
Yeah, you weren't even a Christian at this time.
Yeah.
But
you were just thinking.
I just believe. It's like and I think it's really normal in Latin American that you know that God exists, or you believe that it exists, but you don't go to church. There's a lot of people to that, probably around every place in the world.
Yeah.
So we was like that. I was like that. Like, I don't go to church, but I just say, if it's time, just take her, because she's not fine. And she passed away, and I feel bad, but again I feel like
yep, breath of fresh air. Yeah.
It was really hard, because I felt guilty, like could help her more, but I cannot do it. And I grew up, and it was really hard in that time, like being in high school. And I was like another person. When I was in high school, I tried to laugh and smile and being happy. And I remember once when my mom was around the month that she passed away, a classmate, she knows that my mom was sick. She told me, why are you like, nothing's happening? Why are you laughing all the time? Why are you so happy? It's not your mom dying? And I just told her, like, I've been happy here because everything out of here is a full mess in my life.
Like school was her safe place.
Yes, it was, yeah. So I was trying to don't think on everything was happening around my mom at that time, because I want to have the opportunity for have a normal time in my life.
Yeah.
So when she passed away, I feel like everything was quiet. It's like, I know people get sad, some other people get depressed, and I don't know what I had in that time, but I just feel like nothing. I don't feel like I was really happy. I laughed, but I wasn't a happy person, or I don't feel really sad. It's just, I was just staying there. And I lived a lot of years like that, and I was thinking, oh, I feel fine. It's normal. It's like, now this is life.
Yeah.
And I always think, since after that happened, like, there's two kind of people when they leave something really bad in their childhood. There's the ones that decide to just be rebels, and they mess their life, and they drink, and they do different things because they can heal. And there's some other people that they want to respect the memory of, like in my case, I want to respect the memory of my mom. And I say, I have to be a good person. I have to laugh. I have to be happy. I have to try to do so many things good, because there's no one to tell me, oh, it's like, your dads are not on you, because I don't have someone be like, if I've been rebel or doing different things, I know I could mess my life. And my aunt always lived with us, and she's like my second mom. She was so sweet all the time. She never treated us different. But I know she wasn't my mom. And it's hard to have to grow sometimes too, like, oh, I need shoes. And don't say like, oh, I need new shoes, because I know she wasn't my mom. it's not like she has to be worried about that things.
And you didn't have a relationship with your dad at the time either.
Yeah, and I don't talk with my dad at that time. He know that my mom had that accident. We visit him sometimes around she had the accident. She was like fine in her new reality. But it's not like he helped us or he paid for school or he paid for nothing. My grandma, my mom's mom, she was living here in the U.S. and she sent money for help us, but it wasn't enough for all the things that they have to pay and all that things. So it was hard to grow up with money problems because sometimes we go to the point that we don't have something for eat.
Yeah.
When my mom passed away, I just lived my life like, okay, I just have to be careful about high school and things like that. And my older sister, it was care about her baby, and she was still studying at that time, and she found a new job and she get into the university, and I just was feeling like nothing. And I lived too many years like that way, and I was thinking, oh, okay, I'm fine. And I remember my aunt, she go to like all Tuesdays to meetings in the night, and I tell her, where you go all the time and leave me like here in the house and being bored. And she told me, well, you can go if you want. And I said, where you going? And she was going to her meetings that they give like testimony of their life. It's a Christian place, but it's not like any religion on it. So
like a small group.
It's like a small group, yes.
Gotcha.
So different people, they invited and they go and tell about their life testimony. And I told her like, okay, I'm going one day. And that was one of the really first times that I'm hear more about God, that I go. It wasn't a church, but they tell you about God and how he make his marriage different, or they was sick and they get better. And I was like,
it piqued your interest.
Yeah. And that time at the beginning, I think like, if God was like that, why he let my mom pass away, why he let her to have that accident, why he let him like we grow up like we did. Because I remember a lot of times too when my mom was sick and my mom passed away saying, oh, God bless you, but I don't believe in God at that time. Because when they say God bless you, I feel like angry.
Yeah.
It was like, how you can say me, God bless me, is not blessing me. I think that at that time. So when I started to go to that place, I think that talk was more and more in my mouth, in my mind. Sorry. Like, so God bless you and go make all that things with them, but what he didn't with my mom. And I start to heal, to feel better, and I start to serve in that place, and it was just a women's group, so I just feel part of it, and I really like it. And there's one person in the group, it was the leader of that small group, and she have a call for open a church, but she was a single woman, and she was waiting for get married because she had that call from God, like every different pastors tell her. But she said, I cannot do it because I'm a woman and I'm single. I want to get married first and like make what God is telling me to do. And one day God told her like, you have to do it.
Yeah. So
she did it, and she opened a church, and I was getting to really knowing more and more about God, but I was not fully, completely better inside of me. I was just, it's like a person's feelings are like this deep, and I was just here better, and all this was still on me.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, all the things that I was carrying from my whole life. And I started to go to church since the beginning. I really don't want to go for church because I was fine with the group, that it was just testimonies. It's not, it's a different thing, go for a group with testimonies, and you just hear about people like God, how he changed their life to go a real church. So, well, at the beginning I was not, but I started to go to church and serve and help.
And in Honduras, you don't know how long a service lasts.
Yeah.
They say it's 2 hours, but you could be there 4 hours. Yeah, it could be
more. So I started to go to church, and I remember that one of the times that I was really, God was working on me. I don't feel, I have that feeling that I tell you that I could go for no one and ask, oh, I want this, or nobody was caring. I know my aunt was caring on me, but it's a different feeling. It's like you have your family, but it's different when you have your mom and your dad.
Yeah.
It's even, you can compare how different is it. So I have that feeling, and I remember once that I say, God, that I feel like nothing on me, that I was not feeling happy and not feeling sad. I just was not feeling nothing. And the pastor, the lady pastor, was praying for us, for different persons, and I just say, I want to feel something. And I remember that night, she don't pray for me, and I was like, oh, so it's don't happening, but it's okay. And a few weeks after, it was another pastor invite for our church, and I was going for, he prayed for me, and God, he don't know me, he was not even there in our city, and he said, God, when I told you that you are her beautiful girl, and he's your real father, and you can ask him for all the things that you want to ask, and he's gonna listen to you. And I was like surprised, because I say, how he can know? It's like, I think everyone's happened for that once in their life. And I start to believe more, and I say, it's like how he knows. And I start to talk more with God and pray more. And there are so many beautiful moments that I start to have. And I was like, okay, I think I believe in him. And I have probably like 3 years going around a small group and start to go to church. When I have 19 or 18, I really accept like God in my heart, because at the beginning I was trying to be there, but I have that feeling that God is not listening this part.
Yeah.
He's just listening another person's.
Yeah.
It was just shortly before we met, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was short before we met. And I started to serve and help with the kids. And that helps me a lot for a lot more about Bible, because I was a teacher of kids, because they don't have too many people in my church. And I was like, okay, I can help. And they give me a book, and they say, okay, you have to read more about the Bible and give the kids story like Bible class. And it was like, how I'm gonna do that?
Yeah. I don't even really know
I
anything.
don't know that much. It's like I have like more than 1 year going.
Yeah.
But they don't have the kids apart, because we wasn't that much people at that time. Or they have it, but they don't have that book yet. They just have random. And I was like, I don't know that much about the Bible can give a class, even they was kids, but and after that I start to
sing
on church. And I remember at the beginning they don't have too many microphones.
Yeah.
And they just have 3 of them, and there was 3 ladies singing. And I say, oh, it was 2 at the beginning, but one it was a new one that she get into the choir. And I say, oh, now I never can sing in the choir, because
all the microphones
are taken. And it's like they can buy more. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, I started to sing, and I feel like I'm not good enough for being there, because I know it's different. The just being like, I know God see our service like are the same because it's for the same church and it's for the same thing. It's like, doesn't matter if you are in the door, doesn't matter if you're with the kids, or doesn't matter if you're like preaching. But I feel like, oh, I'm not that good for being there. I don't know too much about the Bible yet. But I have that dream. I was like, oh, it's cute if I could sing for God. But I sing in my chair. For me, it was almost the same because I'm still singing for him. And I remember there was like somebody here that I tell that, oh, I never can sing because they don't have more microphones. And she told me, oh, you can come for the meeting and see for our practice and look at if you can sing or not. And I did it, and so I sing sometimes, and it was like, oh, God listened that I wanted to do it. So I worked so hard for know more about the Bible, for being a better person, because I say I have to do it better, because I don't want that somebody see me and say, oh, she's like a liar, or she's like, nobody get perfect. Doesn't matter if it's the person is in front of you. So I think when you're beginning on church, or when you are not part of it, you think that you have to be perfect. But you're not perfect. You're never going to do. The only holy is God. So we try to be.
Yeah, we try
like
to be
him.
We try to be Christ-like, but the thing is, a lot of people want to try to fix their problems before they go into church.
Yeah,
but that's not the case.
Like that.
It doesn't happen like that. The church is I've heard the church is a hospital. We're going there seeking things, seeking guidance. We're not all perfect. We all need healing or different things like that.
And my pastor always say the same. She used the same, like, we're a hospital. Everyone needs to feel better for something, and God's gonna help him, because even me, I'm not perfect, because there happen a lot, I think.
In my eyes, you're perfect.
Yeah. There's something, some people that could like, oh, the pastor is like, it's not God, it's the pastor. It's like you. He's been there for help you and give you guidance. Yeah.
Lead you, guide you.
I remember that I was like, oh, I have to be perfect. I never been perfect. I'm still not. Maybe one day. No. But
then you ended up becoming the leader of the choir.
Yeah. So the last year, some things happened. And at the beginning of what year was 2024? At the end of 2023, I remember that there was this work in our church that I feel was for me. I don't know why. And they say, God wants you to move, to get out of the place that you are, that you are comfortable. He said that you're staying in a cave now, and you have to be out of there, because you are not part of that place.
Yeah.
You have to move. And I was like, I don't know. I still remember that day, and it's like, I don't know why I feel it was for me. Well, after that, the apartment that we should leave, it was a big rain, or how do you call that?
Our roof
falls. We have to move.
So much rain
in the bathroom. Yeah.
I remember that happening to you guys.
Yeah. And it was like 1 week after that work. It was the owner of the apartments. He was building the second floor. But it was a rainy season, so I was in the bathroom, and I heard just a crash, and it was like, oh, well, I was like, okay. When I hear, I go out really fast for our bathroom or how you call this?
Roof.
Fall. And I say, if that fall on me, I could die, because he wasn't there. He was here at that time on US, and I was alone that full month in Honduras. And it was like, God, thanks that I didn't have an accident there, because nobody's going to find me.
Yeah.
And
just the whole floor was flooded.
The whole floor. And we have a lot of water everywhere, and we have to move. And we moved for a new place. And at the end of that year, on December 2, the leader, it was before me. She left the church for personal reasons, and his husband was in charge of her husband. It was, how you call that?
The drum player.
Yeah, he was the drum player. She was the principal singer, and the
main
piano.
Singer.
The piano
pianist,
person.
Yeah.
He left the church.
All three of them left, like all the main people.
All the main people, yeah. And we were a really small.
They only had like
church.
6 people, so they left like 3.
We don't have no one else who can play the piano. We don't have no one else who can
do the drums.
Yeah. And then I sing too, and there's 2 more singers with me, and it was like, how we're gonna do that? And we make a special for the end of the year, and it was that week, and we was like, God, I was like, what are we gonna do? Is the special for the end of the year? And I remember it was someone in the youth group that he was his son of a pastor, but from another church. And he was visiting our church and helping with the youth and show them how to
play the drums.
Yeah, and piano. He knows about music. And they was the youth group. It was making a special for one song for doing in the New Year celebration. And I talked with my pastor because I was the co-leader, but it was just the name. I don't have to do nothing. I was just the co-leader in that time. Like if my leader have a vacation or something, I have to be in front and yeah. But it was, I don't have to make any decision. I don't have to pick the songs. I don't have to do nothing. And I talk with my pastor and I say, I don't know if I can ask this guy if he can help us. So in 1 or 2 days, we work for have the full completely services of songs, and I get to be the leader the last year. And it was like, God, how I'm going to do that? I'm not. Now it's a new thing. Now I'm not
You're not ready
for being a leader. I don't know how to do that. And I was just thinking, like, okay, I'm not ready, because it's the same. You see your leaders like, oh, they're the leaders, so they know more, and it's probably people like you trying to get it better, but nobody's perfect. So I was working on that, and we are a full new group, and it was so beautiful because I could share more with them, and I could learn a lot about God, and I have a different responsibility. But it was beautiful. Helped me grow a lot on Christ, because
that's incredible.
That take me out of the place that I was too comfortable, and it's like, okay, now you have to do this. And I think changed that how I live and how I feel when I was a kid to be the person that God made me now. It's been a blessing, because I just see so much people happen for things close at the same that I did, and their life is not this like good that I feel like my life is, but it's just because God see me, and he was his hand all the time on me.
And he had a purpose
in
for
my
you
life.
from the
He
very
was
beginning.
a purpose, yeah.
God.
And I just want to add that, well, probably it's one of the questions that you have, that how that I believe that God was on that in my life, and I never think that I could heal all the things that I lived when I was a kid. I never think that I could forgive my dad for all the things that happened. And when I met God and he worked on me, I could talk with my dad. I could go with church with him, and I could understand that all the things that happen for my mom, sometimes it's like God is not making that bad things don't happen, because everyone have different decisions.
Yeah.
And I see after her accident, he gave me that 4 years to stay with her.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning she was not that much in house. She was working, or she was like doing, and we don't have a real relation, but that 4 years that she stayed in house, we have the time for seeing movies. That probably is something that we never did before. And
you built a relationship.
Yeah, I built a real relation with my mom, and I appreciate that God give me that time. That he gave me that time, and well, it's
in the worst
that was my
situation. You made the best of it.
Yeah, I now I see the best of them, and even if something bad is happening, I know God have her purpose for my life and for every person's life.
And so that's why you believe what you believe.
The belief, yeah.
I love that. I love that. I have one question that I just want to ask, but that's an incredible testimony to hear, to go through what you went through and to still make the decision to serve God, and it's changed your life for the better. That's a powerful testimony to have, to tell people about. And it's so cool to be where you were at, to then get to do what you wanted to do, to lead worship. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think that's just how God works for us.
Yeah.
He gives us the desires of our hearts. And if we just let him know and we say, God, just do what you want to do with us. This is what I want. But if it's not what you want, then do what you need to do.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, it's like our desires line up with what God desires as well.
Yeah.
And so I think that's so cool. But one question I have for both you and Wes is, you've been to church in Honduras, and you've also been to church in America.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'd be good just to give a quick perspective of both of those, and that's how we can end this. Because like I said, incredible. And you answered everything that I had. No, that's okay. You did everything you answered everything. It was great. But I just think it'd be good for people to realize the difference between the church in America and the church in Honduras. Mm-hmm. From my perspective, it's hot. It's always hot there. The sound system doesn't always work, in Honduras, and it's like you don't have the best of things, but yet everybody's there with joy, with happiness, because it's like, if it wasn't for God, they realize that if it wasn't for God, it's like they could be just like a part of the gangs, a part of everything there. But the Lord protected them, the Lord's led them and guided them, and it's like they're just happy with what they have there. And it's like in America, people get upset. They'll leave the service if they don't get the chair that they want. They'll leave the service if a song that's sang that they don't enjoy.
Yeah.
The kids have to have an iPad in their hands.
The kids have iPads or like things to distract them. It's like, people go to the church in America and hold on to their phones the whole time, and then they don't even know what happened during the service. So I would just like to know your guys' perspective, and that's how we'll end this.
I think that something make a big difference that you were saying is like, here everything is too comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's good to be comfortable, but there we try to make the better, and our church can now have air conditioner, and some point don't have it, and it was so hot, and
you would be able to wring your shirt
when you're
out of sweat.
In summer, you even if their air conditioner is not working, it's like it's too hot, it's too many people, and it's so hot. And something that happened us a lot is like the lights go in any moment.
The electricity goes out all the time.
So when we know, sometimes they say, oh, this Sunday we're going to have like working on the
electricity.
Yes, the electricity. So we're not gonna have lights since 7 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon, and we have church at what time is 10.
10.
But the service persons have to be 1 hour before, because we have a prayer before the service every time, like a full group.
And that didn't stop anybody from coming.
Yeah,
everybody still showed up.
We're still praying and we're still on worship until it's 10, and people have to be. Some people's there and they get sick, and we're still on our thing. So that's a beautiful thing to live. But when you don't have lights, it's like, oh, if it's not for God, I will go back to my house or go to the ocean or whatever thing that I could be
somewhere to cool down.
Yeah, something cool. So when you don't have lights, I remember once we was in the service and we was in the middle of the songs.
The worship, yeah.
Yeah, the worships, and the lights gone, and we was like, we still singing, and we started to clap, and was like singing the song, and we was like, we don't know what to do, and we have 1 hour of worship. We do the full worship services, and people don't have lights, they just open the doors, and I was sweating so much that the drops of my
sweat,
it was in my eyes, and that is so horrible.
Yeah, that's not fun.
And that happened a lot of times. So I think that's something a big difference that probably here you're never gonna leave, that being without lights and have to be in a service, and people stay. Nobody goes.
Nobody leaves.
Nobody leaves.
Nobody goes. Yeah, that's right. Nobody goes.
And another thing is like that I think is really hard too, because we have the kids dancers. I don't know if the church have that. It's like a
praise
special,
team, but like they're
a special
like dance for God.
Yeah, dance for God, and they always use long
dresses and sleeves.
Yes, long dresses and sleeves, and they're still dancing. So I was singing, but they was dancing still without lights and with the hot. I can imagine how they feel when that happened. And when we have practice for the services, sometimes we just have like 2 hours. Well, we have a lot of time. We have 3 hours Fridays and 3 hours Saturday, and the service it's Sunday. We just have one service in my church because it's not that big. But sometimes the lights, and it's like, what we're gonna do if we cannot have any other practice? And it's like, so we have to go more early the Sunday, like 5 a.m. to have the practice before church.
And that happened a lot.
I remember the text all the time from Wes. Power's out every day, almost every single day. Power's out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard to have to give a service without life, but we do it for God.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful because you can see some people buy drinks for the people don't get too hot. You're still hot, but that helps a little bit.
You see the realness in people.
Yeah. It's really cute to see that. And another thing that it's beautiful to see is like everyone is trying to the people coming that they're not part of the service, they feel comfortable. It's like they're sometimes when they have a baby and you're like doing this for the baby, don't feel too uncomfortable, and people can stay and hear about God. And I think that's something special because we could be more comfortable, but we're still serving on God, even if it's not that comfortable being there, because we know for who we are working.
Yeah.
And I don't know, another difference that you can think about.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think that's good. Just to get a better understanding of how blessed we truly are to be able to come to church here, and we shouldn't take it for granted.
Unless you live in that situation, you'll never really understand that fully.
I tell everybody, like, whenever they ask me about missions trips, or if I always tell them, you have to go out of the country and go to church out of the country to get the realization of just how good it is here. And I feel like that's really increased my worship and my seriousness about my relationship with God. It's been a great thing.
I mean, when I moved out on my first apartment down there, I mean, I didn't have water, air condition, nothing in it for 1 year. And I mean, took bucket showers in an apartment.
We have water problems on summer, and we have like problems on summer when it's more hot because people want to.
And they have to shut off the electricity.
So they have to shut off the electricity, and they give you a schedule sometimes, like, oh, this day and this day at these hours you're not gonna have lights, and this day and these days you're not gonna have water, and it's like, it's really hard to live like that.
Yeah.
And people to have to work and so yeah, it's something that happened in Honduras.
You grow accustomed to it, but it's never easy.
But yep, I guess you're accustomed to it and stuff. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think we're really blessed to have the opportunity to be able to worship here in America. But Wes, Lily, thank you for the testimony. I really think it's going to help a lot of people to realize that even in the darkest, like the worst situations of your life, you can still turn to God, and He will turn your mourning into dancing, like the Bible teaches us. And so I think I'm just going to pray. We'll close out real quick. God, thank you for this opportunity to bring us together to do this podcast. God, I pray that Lily's testimony will touch somebody's life, Lord, that they'll have a different perspective of their situation that they've gone through, Lord. And I pray that you just bless us and you give us strength and guidance, Lord, in our days. And it's in your name that we pray. Amen.